Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and welcome to Let's Play Ape Escape Part 22. This is the final part of this Let's Play. We're finally going to take on Specter and defeat Specter once and for all, because that's kind of what we've been longing for ever since the Crumbling Castle level of this game. It keeps saying, capture Specter, capture Specters, and saying that since then, and now this time it's finally for real. It may not seem like it at first, because before it said go catch Specter, but we didn't actually get to capture Specter. But now, of course, before we go talk Battle Specter, we have to have some compulsory dialogue, a compulsory chat between the two of us.
So you finally come. You just won't give up, will you?
Of course I'm here. Someone's got to teach you that you can't conquer the world. Give it up.
You are so irritating. I just don't understand you.
What? What do you mean?
You have all that power and energy. Why not use your powers for something better?
I'd never do anything harmful or destructive. You'll never get me to turn against my friends.
Ugh, you're so naive.
I'm still better than you are.
Yeah, give it a rest. You're still only human. But one more thing.
What now?
How was the man that raised me?
What? You mean the trainer at the amusement park?
Yeah.
Why do you ask? Were you thinking about going back? I think that's a great idea. Everyone will be so happy. I'm sure if you apologize, they'd welcome you back to the amusement park. Let's go.
What? Apologize? That's ridiculous. Why should I apologize? After the way they treated me? I told you I'm never going back. Why should I? I have come across such incredible powers and intelligence that I'm better than they are. I can do anything.
That's not true power. You're being controlled by the peak point helmet. If you knew what was good for you, you'd throw that thing away. Now do it and let's go.
Quiet! I'll prove to you just how great my powers are!
Go ahead, but if I beat you, you get rid of the helmet.
Oh, you won't beat me!
Don't be so sure, Specter. Here I come.
Of course, Spike is still slightly dumb, because we know that we should know at this point that Specter is not going to budge. He's not going to change for anything. That peak point helmet, it's hard-coded into Specter's DNA now that he wants to rule the world. There's no way you can talk him out of that. There's no way you can talk him out of him wanting to, rule the world or anything like that. So it's kind of the point to try to talk him out of that. So it's finally about time. We finally get down to the fight, the final battle. A very traditional-looking final boss from a Japanese video game. And this is actually one of the easiest. This is probably the easiest boss in the entire game. Actually, come to think of it, this is actually easier than all the bosses we fought earlier. It's really straightforward. It's really easy to figure out what you're supposed to do to defeat him. He has different forms, like most final bosses in Japanese video games. But the fight's actually, pretty easy overall. He's actually the easiest boss you've come across. It's almost like they gave up. It's almost like in that Philosoma game, where at first they made the game really difficult, and after all, I thought, you know what, screw it. We put the player through enough trouble as is. Let's just end this game once and for all. That's probably may have been what they thought when they made this game. I think some of the people who worked on Philosoma may have made this game too. Because the first two levels of Philosoma are hard as hell, then the last two are actually kind of easy. That's what the bosses are like in this game. The first several bosses in this game were actually kind of challenging. I actually failed a lot of the bosses in this game. But this one, not so much. I pretty much always get this one on the first try. This is actually the easiest final boss there is in Ape Escape, the original Ape Escape. And it's the last one too. They actually saved the easiest one for last. Because like I said, they just want the game to be over with. Or maybe this is part of Specter's big plan for something. Maybe he wants to give us a false sense of security so he'll think we're safe, and then he could come back and get us when we're not expecting him or something like that. It probably is part of some sort of plan or something like that. And look, he even gave us a cookie. He gave us something to replenish our health with. A final boss is nice when it wants you to win. Obviously, it wants us to win if it keeps giving us health. What kind of final boss gives you health for stuff like that? No final boss in any real video game would ever do something like that. Or at least that's what I think, or so it may seem. And so, Specter is still just relying on his powers, these weird mystical telekinetic powers, almost like something out of like an anime, like Dragon Ball Z or something like that. He's just throwing them at us like there's no tomorrow. Well, there is no tomorrow for him because he's getting captured. pretty soon. He's going to be captured really soon, so he probably figures there's nothing more for me to do. This is my last stand. I have to do all I can to even if Specter could win this fight, what's he going to do? His whole monkey army is captured. So what else could he do? What more could he possibly really do other than just, be a fugitive in space, pretty much. A space fugitive. So now we captured Specter. If I had a cutscene or anything, it's just going to throw us right into the credits. Pretty much the contents of these credits, like in terms of the names of the people that worked on this game, are exactly the same as they were earlier, but this time it shows a Specter coin in the background. It's like staring into our soul, like Specter is saying, I know I'm gonna be back. You will see me again in the 2 sequels and all the countless spin-offs. Staring into our soul. He wants that image burned into our minds. It's also showing like a Sega Genesis style ending where it shows the end credits again, and it shows a still image of stuff that's going on. It's like it's showing the ending as well as the credits at the same time, pretty much. Like in a Sega Genesis game, like Streets of Rage 2 did that on Sega Genesis. So we're taking Specter back to the lab where he's finally been captured. He's going to be brought back to the monkey park, which is where he rightfully belongs. And it plays different music this time around too. The music actually sounds like something I've heard on TV jingles or jingles I've seen on TV commercials. There's like a DAT 911, I think it always had a jingle. It sounded like this song. I also heard this song in a commercial for like one of those coffee maker things, or like, what was it, like Soda Stream or some coffee maker thing. I actually heard this song in a commercial for that one too. Come to think of it, this actually isn't really an original song at all, really. It actually sounds very much like something like a conglomerate of a bunch of jingles from TV commercials, and they use it as the music for the special ending credits of this game. So this Professor trusts us to take a monkey, a really dangerous criminal monkey, and pretty much almost destroyed the world, or almost ruled the world with his monkeys. And he's just trusting us, a 14-year-old and 2 10-year-olds, to take it to the park, back to the monkey park, where it's going to be, in safe hands, or so they say. Considering what happened before, how a guy's hand on a Peak Point helmet before, they shouldn't just take it back to the monkey park. It might get its hands on a Peak Point helmet again in the monkey park. They should keep it in a more secure place so no one could, so nothing could happen to it. A more secure place. But of course, I don't think they're thinking about that. They obviously wanted this game to have sequels, and they did do that. This game probably wouldn't have had any sequels if they did that, so yeah, it kind of makes sense why they didn't do that. And you can see Specter's, his trainer, his monkey trainer is holding on to him. And while he's holding on to him, he's going to be, kept in probably better protection. I think they do that because it's a zoo. If this is in the United States, they wouldn't give him special protection at all. See how protection is in the United States, how police are? Police are like those Keystone Cops, or those from like the 1910s almost. So Spike and Jake are probably just chatting with themselves like, yeah, remember, hey Jake, remember when you had Specter control your mind? No, I don't remember that, but that must have been pretty funny because he doesn't remember anything of Specter controlling his mind. And so, yeah, this is pretty much what you expect for a typical game ending. Everything is good. Everything, it all end on good terms. Pretty much that's how any game likes to end. It likes to end itself, like as I said, on good terms. They're showing the Sony Computer Entertainment Inc. right now. It looks like it's snowing in the background, too. Like this is intended to be set during the winter time, maybe, or something of that word, snowing. I actually tried to make art like that on Adobe Photoshop once back when I still had an Adobe subscription, but those cost way too damn much, so I prefer using alternatives, and it's subscription-based too. So there's going to be there's going to be a cutscene finally.
Oh no! Look at the time!
We better hurry, or it'll be too late.
Hey, wait up!
Wait for me, you two! I said wait!
And just like a Genesis game or an SNES game or even an NES game, even some N64 games did this too, it just shows a still image saying the end, and it stays like that on the screen for all eternity. Unlike a lot of those N64 games that do that, it actually lets us save our progress after seeing that screen. But we're not going to save the progress as still. We don't really need to see what happens afterwards, so yeah, that's pretty much the end of this Let's Play. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.